Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a different kind of video, but I thought this would be interesting slash helpful slash important, especially for spooky season, so I hope you guys enjoy. Today's video we're talking through 5 ways that you can honor the dead this Halloween. Now, I wanted to make this video because I feel like, yes, we can enjoy the spooky ookiness and have skeletons and witches and goblins, but the origins of Halloween and for many other celebrations of the dead around the world, again, it's about honoring those who have passed, whether we know them or not. It's about taking time to honor the people that have lived before us. And sometimes, you know, this can get lost in the commercialization of Halloween, which I very much happily take part in. But I also want to make sure that now that I've lost someone really close to me, I want to take the time to honor the people that came before us. And so I've compiled 5 ways we can do that. So let's get into it. Before we get into it, none of these things are religious proceedings or anything like that. So no matter your religion, these are things that you can do, unless of course I don't know about your religion and there's something that is like not cool in your religion on this list. I'm sorry. But like, at least to my knowledge, these are things that regardless of religion, you can participate in. Yeah? Cool. Okay, first is cleaning up grave sites. Now, I've mentioned this in my October bucket list as well as my, was it date night ideas? Yeah, I think. But this is something that I've been looking into more and more. There's actually a cemetery that's not too far from me that has like a once a year volunteer day where people can go and help to clean up the cemetery. My family every few years also has a family cemetery that we try and clean up. And I think this is just a really nice way to make sure that these people where they've been laid to rest are not being forgotten. A lot of really old cemeteries can get very covered, the gravestones can get very covered in ick from the weather and all that sort of stuff, and kind of cleaning those off where you can read the names again or anything like that, I think is just a really respectful, nice way to honor the dead in general, not just like the dead that you've been impacted by, if that makes sense. Next up is probably a more unique way to honor the dead, but adding to ancestry sites can actually be very helpful for a number of reasons. So if you've had someone pass away in your life that you know a decent amount about, I would highly recommend logging on to ancestry.com or something similar and adding the information that you know about them, whether this is parent, a sibling, a grandparent, a great-grandparent, even a great-great-great-grandparent if you've got the family archives to support this. Add whatever information you can, because this helps families just to continue to track how their families evolve, and it's a really cool way to link you to your past and understand where you came from and the people that came before you. And so this is just something that we can all do to kind of collectively help us understand one another better and understand each other's pasts and where they came from together. So I think that's a really cool way to make sure that people don't just get lost as time passes. We catalog these things and can use it for research or information or personal reasons in the future. Number 3 is a little bit similar to number 1, but kind of just in a different way, and that is donating to your local cemetery preservation funds slash charities slash nonprofits. And this is a way where it's like, if you maybe don't have time or like grave sites spook you out and you're uncomfortable there, but you do also want to pay respects in some sort of way or anything like that, for whatever reason, if you can't make it to help clean them up yourselves, you can also just donate to cemetery preservation funds, and that money will go to making sure that the cemeteries are preserved. It's kind of cemetery preservation, cemetery preserved. Sometimes I just talk and I'm like, girl, what are you saying? Anyways, yeah, donate to cemetery preservation reserves, and this is a great way to still help maintain those cemeteries without having to do the work yourself. Number 4 is a little bit more personal, but this is telling the stories of the people who have passed on before you. So again, this is like a little bit more personal, like if you know enough information about someone that you can let their stories live on, whether it's adding to a blog or a Wikipedia page or creating a YouTube video or whatever it is, you can just simply tell the stories of the people that have lived before you. And I think this is a really respectful way to just kind of honor them, the impact of their lives, because no matter what, everyone's life has had some impact on the immediate people around them, the community around them, the world. It just depends on their life and their situation, but everyone has some, well, you know, we're not talking about the worst kind of people in the world. So I'm just gonna say, I'm a normal human being that lived a good life, had good contributions to society, and those stories are worth being told. So tell them. Tell them. All right, I know this was a quick video, but we're at number 5 already, and this one is a little bit more involved, but I still think it's really important if you have the means to do it. And this is helping to identify unmarked graves. So unmarked graves are common in times of plagues or war or whatever it is, where people are just kind of buried a lot, if that makes sense. It's also very common for families that could not afford to have custom headstones or anything like that be, you know, to commemorate their loved ones and stuff like that. So, okay, sorry. Sometimes as I'm filming videos that require a lot of like memory from research that I've done, my brain starts to like fizzle out a little bit, and then it gets really hard for me to like regurgitate the information to you guys. So I'm sorry if this is like really all over the place, but basically there are websites that you can use to help identify unmarked graves, and this is especially easy to do if you're already aware of a person that you're trying to find the unmarked grave for. So let's say, just for example, that your great-great-grandfather passed away however many years ago. There are steps that you can take to help identify an unmarked grave. So for instance, if you're able to find the public records of the obituary or the death certificate, it will oftentimes have information about where they might have been buried. Sometimes that might even be a specific cemetery, and that can help you get closer to identifying it. So if it's the only unmarked grave, or if there are a handful of unmarked graves in a cemetery, you can slowly, by process of elimination, sort of figure out who these unmarked graves belong to. And again, I just think this is a nice way to kind of honor the dead by helping out with these types of things. So I will leave some resources down below for basically all of these things, whether it's cleaning graveyards, cemetery restoration and preservation funds, how to help find unmarked graves, which I think could be honestly kind of fun. It's like detective work almost. If you enjoy kind of following true crime in a sense, it's got that same feel where it's like you're putting the puzzle pieces together to figure out the spot and that kind of thing. So I'll leave resources down below for you guys to check out if you're interested in participating in any of these things. Let me know if you already do or have done any of these things as well, because I think that would be really cool to hear about. And I hope you guys are enjoying your spooky season. I know that I am. Again, let me know if you do any of these things in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure you give it a like, hit that subscribe button down below, because I am here every single day until Halloween night. So I still got some videos coming at you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.